Hey Charles, this is Rebecca Lane, and I wanted to give you some feedback on your Ignite practice. So let's get started. First off, make sure that you're in a professional space. Right now I can see these tennis shoes behind you, so you're going to want to adjust your setting. Second, I love that you're wearing a nice clean white t-shirt. If you can upgrade that just a little bit to a shirt with a collar, that's going to be even better for what we're looking for in this class. I like that you're pretty well lit. Try to make it a little bit more even. Okay, so I'm getting a little nitpicky, but try to make it a little more even. You see how this side of your face is bright and this side of your face is a little bit dark. So tiny things that are going to make this a lot better. Your glasses. Make sure that you reduce this glare as much as possible. One way to do this is to get a light that shines directly from the side, so that the beam doesn't just hit the front of your glasses, it also hits behind your glasses, and that's going to reduce some of that glare. Also, what I'm seeing right here is more than likely your computer screen, so you can go ahead and reduce that. Finally, and I know I'm talking a lot right off the bat, but something really quick that you can do is go ahead and open up your frame a little bit so you show yourself from the bottom of your rib cage up to the top of your head. What this is going to allow you to do is to be even more expressive. As human beings, we express with our face, but we also communicate with our head position, with our shoulders, and with our hand gestures. So give yourself as much opportunity to be expressive as you can. Give yourself that benefit by opening up the frame. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to watch a little bit of your speech. I'm going to talk a little bit. If you want me to talk more, let me know, and we can watch your video together over Google Hangouts or Skype or something like that. But otherwise, I'm looking forward to giving you some thoughts. All right?
Hello, my name is Charles Twilley, and this is my Ignite practice run. Let me start off by saying that by having over 20 years experience in DJing, and over 15 years experience in radio.
Okay, so one of the things that I'm seeing right now is you're not looking at us. So make sure that you got a really soft, soothing voice. So make sure that you're making eye contact with us. So we feel like you're speaking to us.
I have witnessed how the internet has changed the way we listen to traditional radio today. As far as from a DJ point of view, it used to be a time where we had to go out and purchase our records, go to your local record store and purchase your records, and that took time. And on top of that, when you did a party, you had to carry crates of records.
So is there a way that you can start? You started out with establishing your own credibility, which I don't think is a bad way to start, and now you're kind of moving into that story. Is there a way to start out with the story that makes sense? Think about engaging us, helping us visualize something first, and then move into your own personal credibility. Try that out. See how that works. Something else that's happening is your voice is so, you've got a really great rich tone and it's really soothing, but you're speaking at a pretty slow pace. And part of that might be because this is a rehearsal. And so you may be planning to pick that pace up in the future. But really work to find that ebb and flow. Yeah. Okay, moving forward.
To the party. That took time. But now with the age of the internet, you don't have to leave your home to purchase music. And if you a DJ of these days and times, you have MP3 players and stuff. And
great job establishing relevance.
Just carry them on a little device instead of back then when we carried crates of records.
Make sure you're looking at us.
As far as on the radio side, there was on the radio side there was a tremendous difference. By me being an engineer there in the radio business, I've seen how radio companies folded, how their sponsors were back.
So this is starting to feel like you're wandering a little bit. Really, I'm starting to listen for your preview statement. So that preview statement is that roadmap that's telling me how this speech is going to go. So you're about a minute and a half in, and at this point, we should have heard that preview statement, and that states your three main points. First, I'm going to talk about this, then I'm going to talk about this, finally, we're going to talk about this. And that just gives me a framework to latch onto. Go ahead and do that.
back out the deals, and they wasn't getting the funding that they used to, or they cut back on having shows or bringing artists into town. So they had stopped all that because now you had the internet move in, and people was moving towards that more because now they can go in there, customize what they want to listen to, and hear it, and without all the commercials and all the other stuff. But then you had guest hosts, I should say, on the radio hosts that realized instead of reaching a small group of people, they can branch out and reach the whole world.
I love how you're telling these stories. I like how they're specific. I think you can get more specific, but I like that they are already starting out specific. One of the things I want to point out is the time that you've taken for the speech. So this is 4, 5, 6. You've got about a 7-minute presentation here. Remember, we're doing an Ignite. And the Ignite is 20 slides at 15 seconds a slide, and that's all you get. That works out to a little bit over 5 minutes. So make sure that you are telling your stories at a pace that's going to keep you with your slides, because that's what you're going to be graded on.
For instance, I had a guy who was in radio, a friend of mine. He had a music show, but he reached some people, not a lot. But then he moved to the internet, blog, radio, and now let's just say he reached all around the world. Instead of getting calls from local people, now he's getting people from Brazil, Japan, Europe.
So can you give me specific numbers? Like approximately how many people was he reaching before, and approximately how many people does he reach now? I like that you're giving me specific locations, right? Local versus these external countries. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's a little bit late for me. So one of the things, so I like that you've got specificity. Can you add in some numbers there? That's going to make this a little bit more tangible.
And now he's loving it. He's reaching out. He's doing what he likes to do. So the internet has came along and done some interesting things in the music part, the radio part. I think some is good, some is bad, but you have to go along with the changes of time.
So really try to find your ebb and flow. You've got such a lovely relaxed pace, and I really like it. But go ahead and you're going to create a little more intensity if you speed this up a little bit more. But not the entire thing faster. Don't fast forward this. But really find that ebb and flow. So where do you want it to get a little bit more intense? Where do you want us to get excited? Those are the points where you might want to find a little bit more of a faster pace. Where do you want us to chill out? Where do you want us to lean in? Those are the moments where you might want to slow down. And I know that you know this because you've worked in radio and you've done the DJ thing, so you know what I'm talking about. But I'm just trying to call your attention to it. All right, moving forward.
And as far as, and I found another thing that I truly like, as far as internet radio, is when it introduces you to different music genres. Say if somebody, you listen to radio.
Okay, so one of the things that we want to do is we want to make sure that your structure is really overt. So that outline that we've already set up, go ahead and remind us that you're following that outline. First thing I'm going to talk about is this. This is where I am. So I just told you guys about this. Now we're going to move on to this. And then flesh it out with that story fact. I want to hear more stats, more facts and things like that. You've got some really beautiful stories, some really excellent testimonials, but go ahead and make sure you're citing things out loud. Make sure you're giving me a little bit more research. You've got so much personal experience. It's really rich on its own. So go ahead and make it even richer, and I know that you can do that.
You used to listen to radio stations, and you hear a certain style of music, or you might hear another style. Maybe one day a week they might play it. But now, with the dawn of internet, it can customize to what you like, and integrate different genres of music for you. If you hip hop, it will integrate other hip hop artists maybe you never heard about, or hip hop artists from overseas or whatever, and check out their music too. Or if you like,
So this is an opportunity to give us a for example, right? So for example, if you look at Pandora.com, the Pandora Genome Project talks about these kind of things. They actually have an algorithm that that tests what you like, and they actually have people who hand analyze the music and stick that into the computer. So this is one of those things where you can be a little bit, it's just an opportunity to give us some really specific details, some really specific examples. So you're starting to speak in generalities, internet radio in general. So then go ahead and cite some specific radio stations so that we can get a better, more tangible concept of what you're talking about.
Jazz. It'll integrate other jazz artists, other jazz style. You like smooth jazz. It'll integrate other smooth jazz artists maybe you never heard about. So I find that interesting. As far as in the whole look of it all, I see the internet, like I said, has killed some stuff, but it also made some things better. And I think overall that it can get better. We can learn from it. It can teach you instead of back. It teaches you more than.
So make sure you're creating that need. I love that you're talking about how this is teaching us things and stuff like that. But go ahead and get to what you want us to do. Okay, so I'm going to skip to your conclusion here.
Get to know different artists and not just be caught in the box. Think outside the box. Don't be scared to listen to new music. Just expand your mind. And I find it great. So for all you people that haven't really experienced the internet or tried to listen to new music, I encourage you to go out there and experience it. Try new music. You might like it. Just don't be caught up in the box. Go experience other music.
Okay, so your call to action, you're using a lot of words to say it. And one of the things that I'm noticing is you are calling us to action to try new music. But your speech was about the transition from broadcast radio to internet radio. So make sure that your call to action really directly relates to that internet radio. So is there a specific radio station you can send us to? Is there a database of radio internet stations that we can pick something from? So now that you've got this general setup, look for places where you can add really specific details. All right, Charles, you're in a really great place. I'm looking forward to seeing how this evolves one more time. All right, thanks so much. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.